Are single origins really the ultimate coffee experience, or do blends secretly hold the crown? In 2024, the Lamastus family estate broke the world record for the most expensive coffee ever sold at auction. Today we're tackling one of the hottest debates in coffee, single origin roasts versus blends. We'll uncover some surprising truths, like why single origins might be too bold for certain brews, and how blends pack unexpected superpowers. Which one comes out on top? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Lizzie and I'm all about helping you make the best coffee at home. If you want to learn more about that, then subscribe. All right, first up, single origin coffee. Single origin doesn't just mean from one country. We're talking about beans that can be traced back to one specific farm or even one part of a farm. Imagine being able to taste the difference between coffee grown on one side of a mountain versus the other side. That's how precise single origin can get. This makes single origin coffee a pure expression of the region, and every cup tells a unique story. So if you've ever wondered why coffee from Ethiopia tastes like blueberries, or why beans from Sumatra have those deep earthy flavours, it's because you're tasting everything that specific environment has to offer. The farmers go the extra mile to make sure they're producing the most delicious and distinct coffees the world has to offer. And they often use some interesting methods to achieve this, such as honey processed coffee, natural process, or even anaerobically fermented coffee beans to create some pretty wild flavours. So if you can get such incredible single origin coffee, why even bother with blends? Here's a fact that surprises a lot of people. Blends are like the superheroes of the coffee world. Roasters combine different beans not just to balance flavours, but to bring out the best qualities in each. It's like putting together a super team. One bean might be the powerhouse with bold flavours, while another adds a smooth finish. Together they create something that's even better than the sum of its parts. And here's something interesting about blends. Big names like Starbucks and other large coffee companies rely heavily on blends to maintain their signature flavours year-round. How do they do it? By constantly adjusting the beans in their blends to account for changes in harvest, seasons, and growing conditions. It's a behind-the-scenes science. For example, if one coffee in the blend is unavailable or changes flavour due to seasonal differences, they'll swap in another bean with a similar profile to keep the final product consistent. And this is why your favourite Starbucks blend tastes the same whether you're drinking it in New York or Tokyo. Roasting also plays a part in this, which is why often blends are roasted darker. It masks a lot of the bean's natural flavours, so whilst you may have consistency, it can lead to a more generic coffee taste. Flavour profiles. Which should you look for? Single origin coffees can have some pretty crazy flavour notes. Fruity, floral, citrusy, even wine-like. But here's the kicker. Sometimes those flavours can be so distinct that they actually overwhelm certain brewing methods. For example, that wild berry or stone fruit flavour from a Kenyan coffee might taste amazing in a pour-over, but could end up tasting too sharp or sour in an espresso. On the flip side, blends are all about balance. If you've ever had a latte where the coffee flavour just melts perfectly with the milk, that's a well-designed blend in action. But blends have their surprises too. Some high-end blends are designed to evolve as they cool, meaning the flavour can actually change over time. You'll notice this with our Magma espresso blend. So you might start with a chocolatey sip, but you end up with hints of nuts and nougat as you finish your cup. Pretty cool. In general, blends are going to be better with milk-based drinks. With light roasts, you want to keep all the flavours the farmer and the roaster intended. If you have a really light roast, you may even find your milk curdles due to the acidity. You can think of some of these light roasts like a fine whiskey. If you're going to mix it with Coke, you might be wasting the essence of your drink. Your blends will more likely be dark or medium roasts, which are designed to work better with milk. When to choose single origin versus blends. So, how do you know when to go for a single origin and when to stick with a blend? Imagine you're making a cup of coffee for a special guest. If you want to wow them with a specific flavour, maybe something fruity and complex from Ethiopia or something earthy and spicy from Sumatra, you'll reach for that single origin. But if you're just brewing your daily cup or making coffee for a group, some want milk, some want black, a blend might be your best bet. Blends give you that reliable, well-rounded experience. What to watch out for, brewing methods and surprises. Let's get into some pro tips for brewing these coffees. With single origins, watch out for how your brewing method affects the flavour. For example, single origins tend to shine in manual brewing methods like pour-over or AeroPress, where you can control every detail. But here's a twist. Some single origins, especially those with wild fruity flavours, might taste completely different and not always in a good way when they're brewed as an espresso or in a French press. It's like they become a totally different coffee under pressure. With blends, keep an eye out for how they evolve in the cup. Remember how I mentioned some blends change as they cool? This is especially true with espresso blends. That initial shot might be all caramel and chocolate, but as you sip, you might pick up subtle fruity or spicy notes that weren't there at first. Costs and availability. Single origin coffees, despite their often higher price, can be incredibly seasonal. That means you might fall in love with one only to find it's unavailable next time you go to order. It's like hunting for treasure. Once it's gone, it might not come back until next season. In 2024, the Lamastus family estate broke the world record for the most expensive coffee ever sold at auction. A honey-processed gesher that went for an incredible $13,518 per kilogram. The entire 3-kilo lot sold for a jaw-dropping $40,554. A single cup brewed with this coffee could cost upwards of $270. While this seems crazy, you can still get delicious single origin coffee for a fraction of that price. Meanwhile, blends offer a more affordable and consistent option, as roasters can adjust the components to balance flavours and maintain availability year-round. So, while single origin coffees offer a thrilling, unique experience, they often come with a higher price and limited availability. Blends, on the other hand, deliver reliability and value. So, who wins in the battle of single origin versus blend? If you want to be taken on a flavour adventure where every cup gives you a new experience and you're not afraid to experiment with wild, bold flavours, then single origin is your go-to. It's exciting, unpredictable, and perfect for those who love exploring coffee's unique characteristics. But if you need consistency, versatility, and a reliable coffee that's always balanced and delicious no matter how you brew it, blends are your secret weapon. But why not have both in your coffee toolkit? Let me know in the comments. Are you team single origin or team blend, or both? If you want to learn more about how to brew delicious light roast with an easy pour-over method, the Kalita Wave, check out this video. And check out this one for getting the top 7 mistakes when brewing with a French press. Thanks for watching and see you next time.